Oshiroibaba or face powder hag is a demon from Japan mythology. We have another woman urban legend here. This spirit creeps you in some very fashionable way. She is an ancient woman with her back severely bent due to her age, like some grandparents we see today. She has a bamboo cane that she leans on and has a straw umbrella hut. She usually carries a bottle. In some accounts, she drags a mirror behind her which rattles when she walks over. However, this mirror is not seen. Oshiroibaba has two stories. One is evil and one is good. Let's start with the evil one. According to the legend, she appears at night asking girls if they would try some of her special face powder. She encourages the women to use it, making sweet talks such as it will make them beautiful. When the girl try the white powder, as soon as it touches their face, they will feel a burning sensation, so intense that their skin starts peeling off and their flesh falling from their faces, leaving only their skull. Oshiroibaba uses the skin for her own purposes. Now, the good side. According to the legend, in the 6th year of Tembun 1537, Abbot Kashin of Asedera Temple gathered artistic monks from across the country to paint an image of the goddess Kannon, as large as the Hondo main temple itself. Unfortunately, the food became scarce and the monks were unable to continue their painting. They pleaded to the goddess to give them strength to finish the work. The following day, a young monk spotted a woman washing rice in a local well. She pulled rice from her bucket, washed it, and set it to dry. The strange thing was, her bucket never goes empty. The young monk was amazed and thought that the goddess heard their plea. The monk wanted to see her face but couldn't, so he decided to put a small stone at her back. As she looked up, her skin was white as snow, as if she was made of oshiroi powder. However, her face was deeply lined like an old woman. Due to this miracle, the monks were able to finish the portrait. Yama-uba or mountain witch is a Japanese demon folklore who lives in a hut and mountains and eats anyone who is fortunate enough to cross her path. She is often depicted as a mountain hog due to her appearances being an old woman. Other sightings says that she is a mother with a nursing child. Yama-uba differs from one story to another, but only one did not change, them being a woman. According to the legend, Yama-uba was once a normal old woman living with her family in Japan. However, the village experienced a famine and the food became limited. Her children found her to be old and dying anyway, so they refused to feed her and kept the food only to themselves. She is later drove out of the village to die of starvation. This is a common way to survive when it became impossible to feed the whole family. One must make a hard decision. It is often the children or the elderly. Once they have decided, the child or the parent will have to be accompanied to the woods and be left there, either to die for starvation or be killed by wild animals. But she didn't die. Instead, she used her strength to climb her way to the mountains and found a cave that she can use as a shelter. She lived alone for many years, driving her insane. She became cannibal and eating the flesh of the people she lured in and killed. She built a hut deep in the forest, and to survive, she preys on the travelers that are deep in the woods and offers them shelter for the day. And once they are asleep, she kills and eats them. Sometimes she possesses a beautiful young maiden to help the travelers gain their trust. Other stories says that Yama-uba offers the travelers the right direction, but she actually leads them to a cliff where they fall to their death, and then she rushes below to feed on their remains. It is unknown how she got her black magic or if she became possessed with a demon. Hone-onna or bone woman has many tales, some of them extracting their victim's life force while others holding the victim's hand until the victims became skeleton himself. She prays man. Bone woman is a spirit who dies and holds on for his love. This allows them to continue to roam the earth despite their flesh rotting away. The ghost appeared as once they are on their prime. At night she rises from her grave to wonder her former lover. Of course the lover would be shocked, but this will quickly turn into joy and blinded them that something is not right. Even she does not know that she was a ghost, as she was only driven by love. Each night she drains some of her lover's life force, and this grows him weaker and weaker. This can last from days to weeks, eventually killing her lover and joining him in death's side. A friend or a person with strong religious faith are able to see through their real appearance. When her lover realizes this, she will continue to visit every night. As her body rots, her alluring charms only get stronger and stronger until the lover succumbs to it and let her in one last time to the expense of their own life. The famous legend speaks of Batandoro. A young man who is wandering at night met a young woman. She carries a red lantern and he immediately fell in love with her. Every night they meet each other, sleeping and having sex. The neighbors became curious as to where the young man is going every night, secretly sneak into the bedroom of the couple to observe them. When the light of the bedroom dies, the neighbor was shocked as they see the young man sleeping with a moving skeleton. This legend has been adapted into puppet shows and films and has been an influential ghost story. Harionago, or long-haired woman, is another Japanese urban legend about a ghost who attacks men with her hair. She is also often referred as a barbed woman or hook-hair woman. She is one of the frightening Japanese folklore that if you encounter one, there is a 99% that you'll be dead. 1% being the people who survive and was able to tell the tale of the said yokai. Harionago is a beautiful woman with extremely long hair. She has the ability to control her hair, and the tip of it has a sharp hook or barbs that will ensnare her victim. At night, she stalks the road and back streets of Japan searching for young men. When she spots a young man, she will smile at him. When the man smiles her back, she will unleash her barbed hair onto the victim. The barb will clutch into the man's flesh, rendering him unable to run away, slicing her victim to pieces using her hooks. One account witness happened in a small village in Japan. A boy from Yama-uba village was walking on his way home. As he was walking alone, he saw a girl walking towards him. He looked at the girl and it was smiling. So, as a sign of courtesy, he smiled back. As soon as he did, the hair fell down in disarray and started to pounce him. Shocked, the boy tried to run away. As he struggled to free himself, he felt a sharp object clutching on her back, ripping his flesh. Somehow he managed to get up and run away as fast as he could. He managed to get back to his house and quickly closed the door. Shaking and trembling, he waited for the dawn to arrive. He was able to survive the night, and as soon as he opened his door, he found deep scratches. So, if you are in Japan, no, make it anywhere else, and you see a strange woman smiling at you, you might want to think carefully in smiling back. Now for the most badass on this video, Wanyudo. Wanyudo is a giant flaming ox cart wheel with a head trapped in its wheel. They are the servants of hell. They roam the earth patrolling for its victim. As soon as he has its victim, he will drag it to hell to be judged, and returns back to earth to repeat his work until the sins of his former life are redeemed. Another story tells that the mere sight of this abomination will give you intense fever, and if he catches you looking, he will run you down, ripping you from limb to limb until nothing is left but the burnt tracks on the road. Legend has it that a tyrannical daimyo was touring with an ox cart in Kyoto when an assassin take him down. The tyrant man was so angry and he could not accept his timely demise and became a monstrous spirit called Wanyudo. Not all are killed seeing Wanyudo, however they lost something in return. A story states that a woman saw Wanyudo on its patrol. He seized the woman and saw that it was looking on him. The woman terrified as she gazes upon a Wanyudo. Words come out of the Wanyudo. He said, "If you have time to gaze upon me, tend to your own child." This is when she noticed that there were tiny limbs hanging from the burning wheel. She rushed to her child only to find that all of the limbs were ripped off. Well, what a douchebag monster. I mean, that was only a child, for crying out loud. He should have put those fire off so no one can notice him flying.